What's up? This is Nak3d Eli, the mostly unclothed gamer, here with another episode of Breaking Halo 4. We're going to be going over strafing tips in this vid with my good buddy Mike from IL, who is just back from the Air Force. He's like a level 20 playing Halo 4 for the first time. Mike, how you doing?
Good, how are you, Eli?
I'm doing well, Mikey. Thank you for asking. Mike and I go way back. He knew me before I had the V2 in my name, I think, because some people banned it. I don't know why. I can't stand the nakedness, I guess. And we were on the competitive BTB teams together, and Mike is just an overall ninja. So he's got some sick strafes that we're going to show you guys today. I'm going to go over a huge variety, explain when to use different strafes in different situations. So let's just dig right into it. What is strafing? For those of you unaware with the term or unfamiliar with it, it's essentially just moving while you're shooting. So if you're not moving while shooting, it's very easy for anyone to get perfect shots on you and pick off an easy kill. So you want to strafe so that you last longer in encounters, whether it's 1v1s or 2v2s. Strafing and being unpredictable are crucial to getting kills, securing objectives, and winning games. So let's start with the lazy strafe. Mike right here is going to demonstrate what a lot of people do and what they think strafing is. A lot of people think strafing is just moving left and right. It's very simple. You're not standing still, so you're clearly, you have a good strafe, right? No. Lazy strafe is very bad because essentially you're very predictable. I know you're going to go left, then you're going to go right, then you're going to go left. So I'm going to land all of my shots on you unless I'm a very low skill player and I can't aim left and right at that pace. Now, what you want to do with a short strafe is switch it up. So Mike, demonstrate that, please. You see how he's now stuttering, how he's going right, and then he's going left, and then he's moving right quickly, and then a quick left. And he's switching up the distance, the variety, the pacing. There is no pattern. The enemy's brain can't pick up on a pattern, can't predict, and thus it's going to be more likely that he'll miss 1 to 2 shots and give you a chance to get those shots on him and to stay alive. Now let's move on to the long strafe. So at long ranges, you do not want to short strafe because your reticle, like my reticle, is essentially the size of your Spartan and the distance that you're moving in a short strafe. So you're basically standing still at long range. What you want to do is you want to start moving long distances with your strafe, and that's going to make it more difficult for the person to hit their shots, just like we had with the short strafe at short ranges. Let's move on to the crouch strafe. This is like if you're shooting someone and they're usually aiming for your chest or your head, right? So especially when you're one shot, they're going to expect that your head is going to be right about here. And so when Mike crouches, I'm going to miss potentially 2 to 3 shots because I'm going to expect him to just pop right back up, right? That's what he's been doing possibly throughout his crouch strafe. Now, when he doesn't pop back up, that allows him to get 1 to 2, possibly even 3 more shots on when people, they honestly just sit here and shoot above your head, waiting for you to come out of that crouch. And if you don't, it usually throws them off. Now, the further back you get, the less distance it appears that your head is moving, so it's not as effective. Also, notice that the body is more compact. Like right now, your head is up here. When it's down here, there's a lot more going on. It's a lot more confusing where the head is, and in really fast situations, that might land you the kill while they shoot like one of your shoulders. So that's the crouch strafe. Jump strafe is just adding a jump in anywhere along your strafe. The reason that this might be good is that people often expect to be on a flat plane and just shooting, you know, at the bodies exactly along a horizontal plane, left and right. But a lot of people have a more difficult time aiming up. Also, the fact that your head is higher up and is guarded more by your body at that angle makes it harder for them to get the headshot in. Now, I wouldn't recommend jump strafing in the middle of your strafe most times because it makes you extremely predictable, and anyone with moderate to advanced skill or shot is going to be able to just rip you apart 2 to 3 shots. If you're facing 2 enemies, you're going to be dead instantly. So what you want to do normally, and a lot of bumper jumper players use this because it's really easy with their control scheme, is they will take 4 shots, and then in the last shot, they'll jump up, which will make the person miss 1 to 2 headshots, and then you know you're jumping, so you can land those last couple shots and hopefully clean up the kill and win your 1v1. The reason I'll go into more detail on bumper jumper is that people like to use jump strafes is simply because you can always have both sticks, left and right, on your thumbs on both sticks at the same time and use your right or left index finger, I cannot talk English today, to jump while you're doing it. So notice I can move left and look right, or move right and look left, etc. at the same time. That's the advantage of having bumper jumper control schemes. Now I'm going to add one more advantage to bumper jumper, is that Mike's going to show you the Gondii Hop. This is an alternative to the jump strafe that I highly recommend if you have your tryhard pants on and you do not want to die, and you definitely want to secure more kills in the short term and long run. What this does is this bobbles your Spartan's head up and down and makes it difficult for the game to register your headshot, and makes it much more difficult for people to predict exactly where your head is, especially at close ranges when the reticle is just the size of your head. So a lot of people I know actually just use Gondii Hop as their strafe. They just Gondii Hop around everywhere, and they don't even care about short strafing and long strafing. They just freaking Gondii Hop. So you'll hear a lot of people complain about that at higher skill levels. It's a great technique. But I think it's better to optimize your situations, as I'm talking about in this video. So that is the jumping strafe. Oh, the reason why bumper jumper, before I move on, is good with that is because it's just the left analog stick. All you have to do is tap that repeatedly, and that's how you do the Gondii Hop. So bumper jumper, OP for strafing. Now let's move on to the signature Mike from IL lag strafe. Mike, you want to demonstrate it for us? So what the lag strafe is essentially a 2-to-1 ratio in moving left to right or right to left, and it sometimes glitches out your legs in a way that makes it look like you are lagging. So Mike, if you want to just go all the way to the left with your lag strafe. So you're like shooting this guy and you're like, what the hell? Why does he look like he's friggin' lagging out? That's the lag strafe. Throws a lot of people off. Mike, I think you should copyright that.
I'll do it right now. Copyright Mike from Illinois. 2013. Boom.
Awesome. So that's the lag strafe. And next we have the height strafe. Moving on, let's use this box over here. So what the height strafe is essentially getting height on your opponent, similar to a jump strafe, but arguably twice as effective. When you're shooting somebody and they use height, you know, you expect them to go maybe behind the box or maybe stay on that platform, and then you're fighting them, and then what he's going to do is he's going to jump up onto this and then jump again. And his height is going to be so high that it's going to be ridiculously hard for me to hit those shots, especially because his head is so far up. It's going to be really difficult to hit the headshot. And then also, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, looking up and down takes more time than looking left to right. Notice how fast that is. Obviously, the auto aim on Mike is going to throw that off and slow it down a bit. But when it's up and down, it's slow on any sensitivity. Vertical, slower than horizontal. So getting vertical height advantage is extremely important. And if you're able to pull this off in a strafe fight, I highly recommend it. A little tip for doing this also, whether you're using a jump strafe or a height strafe, is to try and get over and around them. This is going to throw them off so much, and you're going to know exactly where you are in position to him. He's going to have no idea where you're going. So it's very possible that he's going to be able to miss those shots, and you're going to be able to juke them out 9 times out of 10 with a height strafe. Next, let's talk a little bit about wall strafes. So let's say you have no cover and you just run into someone in a hallway, like it's a 1v1, whether they have sniper, DMR, VR, whatever. You're going to be shooting them. They're going to expect you to hug and maneuver around the middle of the hallway. Let's say the hallway ends here. It's just psychology, basic psychology, that they're going to expect you to fill up this negative space. Move towards the center. Use what you have available. But so what I do in these situations is I like to hug the wall. I like to look like I'm going towards the middle and then hug the wall, whether I'm absolute 1-shot or 2-shot. Hugging the wall and then faking like you're going to go back to the middle is extremely powerful for making them miss shots. Sorry also if the game volume's too loud. There's no way to minimize the game volume, unfortunately. I know the shots are really loud compared to my voice, but you know, it's the best we got. So anyways, that's the wall strafe. Next, we're going to show you the corner strafe. So we have 3 situations here that you really should focus on. The first, I'm going to say, let's say we're shooting here, is you should always be peek shooting. Use any advantage possible to win your 1v1s, including your environment at all times. So if you have this cover, it's up to you to dictate the pace of this battle. So you can let them waste some shots, then poke out and get a shot. You'll probably take some shots, right, because they expect you to be here. So what you're going to want to do is use that to your advantage. Let's say right there, I'm 2-shot and he's 2-shot, right? he's going to expect me to pop out, and then he's going to put one shot on me. I'm going to be one shot. Now I'm going to poke out and move to the left instead of moving back to the right. That's going to allow me to avoid his last shot. Now that's a little unclear, so I'm going to clarify that. Everyone expects if you're about to be one shot that you're going to move back in. So what you want to do when you only have one shot left and you know he's going to put that fourth shot on you is move to the left. That way he's going to have his reticle over here expecting you to be there, and it's going to require a swift adjustment in order to hit you over here. Because no fool is going to want to poke out completely when they're absolute or one shot, right? So instead, you're going to get one more shot advantage than he will, and that's if you're weak popping out. Another example is, let's say we're both one shot. So let's set this up. Now I'm right here. He's going to expect my face to be right here, so I'm going to want to pop out with a jump. The jump is what's going to allow me to get the headshot on him while he expects me to be right here. So more advanced players will know that the person's going to jump out, and they'll be waiting somewhere in the middle to aim either up or down depending on where that person's head is. And this isn't exactly strafing. I mean, it's peek shooting, but it definitely ties in to strafing. So yeah, Mike, I feel like I missed a part of that. Does that all make sense right there?
It all pretty much just makes sense. I mean, you really have to know what you're trying to do if you're around a corner and you have the advantage. I think a lot of players just need to know if they have a good position or not.
Yeah, don't just like sit here and take bullets. Definitely try to avoid fire as much as possible. It's all about you living longer and them getting more, like less shots on you than your shots going to them. So next we have just some examples with the box for uber strafing. If you have like something that looks like this where you could be around it, you need to use this. You could do that, you could jump up, you could do the height strafe, you could do what Mike did earlier where you pop up, jump back down, pop up, go over. Just another example of using you know, different pieces of the environment differently. You really have to be creative, find your own strafe. You could use various armor abilities, add in like a thruster pack, or let's say you're right here facing that, and you throw out a hologram that way, and then you pop out this way. Like, there's so much variety and things that you could do, especially since the hologram is better in this game. And you know, jetpack obviously is good too if you want to get the height strafe on them. I mean, I think that goes without saying. Yep.
What he's really saying is just be really creative with it. That's what Halo is about, is trying to be creative with everything you try to do in this game.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. So, Mike, is there anything else that I missed or that you feel... Oh, I know. Before we go, I wanted to mention a little bit of, like, I guess I'll call it counter strafing. So, if you are in a fight with someone, right? Let's say we're pretty even. You can do whatever strafe you want and just try to juke out your opponent. But let's say you have more shots on him than he has on you. You're going to want to try to emulate his strafe and use the left analog stick to try and stay on his face. The left analog stick gives you a little bit more control when you're aiming, and if you can follow his strafe, then you're gonna have more of an advantage in the battle, right? He'll be putting shots on you, you'll be putting shots on him, but you know for a fact that you're gonna come out on top, or at least more times often than not in that situation. Whereas, let's say Mike is destroying me in this battle, then I'm gonna wanna pull out a counter strafe to him and just go the complete opposite of him. That way, it's much riskier for both players to shoot their shots, but that risk allows you to possibly win an encounter that you would have lost otherwise. So that's just a very brief touch on counter strafing. Also notice that there's a red dot in the middle of the reticle when you're on their head. I never noticed that before, but I noticed it now. It's just the small things that make my day. So that's it for this strafing tips video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and check out some of my other episodes in the end slate if you want to. Yeah, have a good day. That's it. Say bye, Mike.
Bye, Mike.